Marking your confusion. It's something that all big kids do. Now, what I'm about to talk to you about, I do with great trepidation and fear. I am horrified to speak to you about close reading. Close reading is like this thing that used to mean something and now means everything. Close reading can mean putting stars in the margins, or exclamation marks, or smiley faces. Close reading can mean using different lenses or rubrics or structures or frameworks or boxes or worksheets or dances. No, I don't think the dancing thing is actually true. I've never heard that ever. But I do know of at least a few people who would say that you can legitimately close read a dance. That's what I'm talking about. Close reading has experienced what linguists call extension. This is when a word extends beyond its original meaning. Now, obviously, some extension is not fatal to a word, but I think a lot of extension is. Like, there is just a point when a word can mean too many things to make it useful as a word. Okay, Mr. Problem Pants, you seem to be very good at pointing out what's wrong with close reading. Tell me what's right. The solution to the whole overextension of the word close reading is to teach kids what you mean when you say close reading, or just say the thing that you mean instead of close reading. So what I tell my students with close reading in my class, I tell my students that I want them to purposefully annotate or strategically annotate. I mean, I don't have like a poster like purposeful annotation is this is that. But here's the thing. So I tell them, look, okay, let's analyze this assignment, the article of the week assignment. You're going to have to mark your confusion, show evidence of close reading, and then write a 1+ page response. Guys, what's the most time-consuming part of this task? Probably the 1+ page response. So here's an idea. As a student, as someone who's trying to be successful, someone who's trying to complete this assignment and learn from it, and receive a good grade. All these things are part of my motivations as a student. I want to work smarter, not harder. And that means that while I'm reading, I want to be getting ready for that response. So the idea is for purposeful annotation that, well, my purpose is I'm going to be writing a response. So while I'm reading this, I want to annotate in response to what I'm reading. Or I want to annotate to help me understand what I'm reading so that when I respond, I'm writing from a place of understanding, at least to a basic level. So my annotating is not busy work. It's not to just get the grade. So to help my grade monger students with this annotation thing, I will just tell them explicitly, guys, 1 to 2 thoughtful annotations per page show mature thinking. The idea here is, guys, I want you to learn this year in my class how to annotate purposefully, how to work smarter, not harder. So when you're reading a text, you're annotating in preparation for that response. It's almost like you're pre-writing on the text. And also, obviously, just trying to help yourself to comprehend, so slowing yourself down. So no, even though you prefer to do the annotations after the reading, I'm not going to sit here while you're working on this on Mondays and say, oh yeah, that's okay, do whatever you want. Because then you're just doing the annotations as a form of busy work. I want to see you trying to respond while you're reading, to pause, paraphrase, summarize sections of the text that are challenging while you're reading, so that when you're done, you're at this place of, oh yeah, a page? Well, let me just go back. Yeah, this I want to talk about this, and I can't wait to respond to that point. The idea here is teaching kids how to use annotation for themselves, how to use annotation from a very pragmatic perspective. They know they have to write a 1-page response to the article, so then we need to help them to use the annotation to make that response easier. The basic problem that I see with Article of the Week is that when I do it as Kelly Gallagher does, as he describes in Read Aside, when I assign on Mondays, give time in teaching on Mondays, a chunk of that, and collect on Fridays, give time for some discussion. When I do that, I don't get a ton of return, especially from my students who need it most. So my hope is, what I'm finding, is that when I teach them to have a work smarter, not harder approach to this, I'm getting more turned in with better quality. Annotation, dear colleague, is about purpose, not filling in the margin with a bunch of crap. We don't want to make marginalia crapalia. We don't want to overcomplicate what it means to read. Simple is better. At least that's my argument. Kelly, tweet me. Tweet me, Kelly. Power pose.